Hello guys, this is Pap from Pap back at it again, and today we are here with another spicy version of SATELLARKNIGHTS, one of the best options in my opinion for this KC Cup. So this is kinda of a negation version. So as you may have seen from the thumbnail, I'm talking about a lot of a counter trap and a special synergy with the PARSHATH stuff, you know. Of course I'm with Odeon, and you may already know what the skill will be, but before jumping right into it guys, just a quick reminder, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it and really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So I'm here with Odeon, and the skill is of course endless trap hell, just to recycle the bunch of traps that we are gonna accumulate in the graveyard. And here is the deck list. As you can see, really straightforward. Like, we got obviously the same load of monsters, the usual triple Dina, the triple Altair, the triple Vega, and the only Cyrus as a way to recycle cards from the graveyards and also to recycle our extra deck. And the Cyrus is gonna be more important in this version because we have actually only 5 Xyz monsters, because 2 of the 7 slots are for our Vengeance Knight PARSHATH. This guy, it's a synchro monster, but we do not have tuners. Why? Because we can summon this little guy with Rebirth of PARSHATH. This is a very nice counter trap, and to use it you have to, with this you can negate a spell trap card or a monster effect, but not a summon. And to use it you have to reveal one counter trap in your hand, pay 1000 life points, and then you have to discard a card, and the card can be either the trap you just revealed or any other card you have in your hand, so you're not forced to discard the counter trap you revealed. Keep in mind that. Why it is so good? Because after negation, the card that was negated gets sent back to the deck, so it's not to the graveyard, it does not get banished, it just gets back to the deck or the extra deck depending on what we are negating, of course. And of course is really good, and it really synergizes with the fact that we already have a counter trap for these deck. It is a counter trap that is specific of the archetype. I'm talking about, of course, Stellar Nova Alpha. This one instead of course requires you to tribute Stellar Knight monsters. You can negate a spell trap card or a monster effect as well, but also you get to draw a card after the negation and destroy actually destruction of the card. Last but not least, to actually increase the chances of having a counter trap, and also to have a counter trap in your hand to reveal, to use it actually for your Rebirth of PARSHATH, we are playing a triple Divine Wrath. Now guys, I do know there are a lot of other counter trap you could use, and you know, in some situation debunk can be highly effective as well. I also tried to use this deck with Xyz block, but you know, Xyz block was kinda situational, because if you do not manage to summon an Xyz monster, this just becomes a dead card, and I need to use something that can be used not depending on which monster I have on the field, because I already have Stellar Nova Alpha that can only be used if I have a Stellar Knight monster on the field. You have other choices. We have a much cheaper choice in Ultimate Providence, of course, but these of course will be related to the monster you have, to the type of card you have in your hand, so keep in mind that. And I think there's nothing really worth mentioning, honestly. With Divine Wrath you should be more consistent, and especially if you are facing a lot of meta decks, this would be the best load of a counter trap to use. It has a lot of fun. Actually, it can be highly effective, because especially if you manage to begin with a couple of counter trap, and one of them being the Rebirth of PARSHATH, you are in a very good position to stop your opponents, to prevent your opponent from doing his combos, and this is very good. Last but not least, to fill the deck, a very good monster Reborn, highly effective. Keep in mind that we Rebirth of PARSHATH Parshat, we can summon the Avenging Knight Parshath. It is a pretty not so good guy. I mean, he is 2600 attack, but he can change battle position and inflicts piercing damage. But I mean, maybe 20 hate would have been perfect. Of course, guys, the skill is just so good because all these cards, actually Divine Wrath and Rebirth of Parshath, are cards that make you discard, so you can easily achieve the 3 traps that you need to have in order to use the skill. Keep in mind that for the extra deck, a couple of Batlemus are much needed, and then I went for a couple of Trevor and 1 Deltaros, but keep in mind that with Cyrus you can just recycle all of them, so really there shouldn't be any problem for the reduction of the extra deck. I mean the reduction because of the Parshath cards. And guys, that is all. The deck is really consistent, of course. We have a lot of power, and this negation is really maybe a little bit cancer, but it works. It really works, my boys. We can jump right into the replays. Here we go, my boys. First replay. So there you go, we've got, it's him to begin, just a couple of set cards, and we have a pretty busted hand. Actually not that perfect, because we should need Vega, you know, as a perfect hand, but we've got instead a couple of trap cards that we can use, and it's got Gravekeepers, nice. It's got the Commandant to the Necro Volley to his end, then it's got the Magicalized Fusion. At this point it just negated that straight away. I didn't want him to summon the Supernaturalist, so there you go. Back to the deck, of course, and the Avenging Parshath to begin, it just cooked. So keep in mind that actually this is just to show you that the sending that card, actually more than a negation per turn, can just scoop up your opponent. That's all it needs to get 3 wins. Second duel, my boys, against my Valentine. This should be Harpies, if I'm not wrong. It's us to begin. Not the best of the hands, right? But with this, we actually have the ability not only to negate a couple of cards, a couple of activation, and that can be anything. Can be a spell, can be a monster effect, but we also get to summon a couple of actually medium boys. Not say big boys, but medium boys. So it's got the Typhoon to begin with, and at this point it actually is more convenient for me to activate that response. So he has the Typhoon backed into the deck, and also I get the first big boy out, so there you go. He's got then the Perfumer, and again Rebirth of Parshath. Keep in mind that because of this being a counter trap, it cannot change Swallow's Nest, for example, or any other quick play spell card. You can only, remember this, guys, you can only chain a counter trap to actually respond to a counter trap. There you go, so that's just you need a couple of Rebirth of Parshath and you're good to go. Another big boy is here, he's got a couple of back rows. Let's see what I have. I got a Vega, I suggest to set that. He's got the Regeki Break at this point, and he had the Swallow's Nest, as you can see right here in the graveyard, but he couldn't activate that to dodge the Rebirth of Parshath. So I can just attack at this point. He's got nothing else to actually recover from the double negation, and that's how you do it. There you go. Third duel, my boys, against Trey. Actually, I've been seeing a lot of Chronomalies, to be honest. So he's got a couple of set cards, and I've got the Vega, so very nice. Vega to summon the Dina, but it's got the Chalice, unfortunately. So no other summon for us. We can just set the Rebirth of Parshath. I just went for the Rebirth of Parshath because I want to have a counter trap to show in my hand. Of course, he's got the Chronomaly Crystal Bones to then discarding the skull to add the Nebradisk, but Nebradisk gets negated from my Rebirth of Parshath, so I can also, he has no more normal summon and we're chilling. We can just bring out the big boy, the medium boy, the Parshath guy, and at this point we can just go with Dineb, add a card to our hand. Now we got some more counter trap to use. We've got the Badlemus, but it's got the Floodgate, unfortunately. That is not a problem, we can just attack because this guy inflicts piercing damage, so that is pretty nice. At this point, he's got the Mud Golem to attack and inflict piercing damage as well, but now we just need to summon a Stellar Knight and we're good to go. Why? Because we got the Stellar Nova and we can negate anything, so we can just attack. He's got the Concentrating Current that was actually the best card he could ever get, the best back row, because with this he can actually, he could have endured the full turn. Because now with this guy being 2700, I haven't been done nothing, but actually if I mean, I already had the Stellar Nova Alpha, that's why I didn't do that. But of course, I could have used the effect of PARSHATH to put that in defense, and this would have been useless. So I just, I didn't do it because I had the Alpha, so I could just negate everything he has. So there was no problem for me to worry about. That's how you do it. There you go. Here we go, my boys. This was the 4th duel. It's him to begin, and we've got a couple of set cards and a monster that was set. Then DNM to begin with to add an Altera, of course. Then we've got triple set, triple negation right there. It's got Harpies with the Harpies, so it's gonna add the Channelier, but it's gonna have, a hard time facing these 3 cards. It's got the Channelier's effect, discarding a card, but I've got the Parshath to make that come back to the deck. So no graveyard for you, and also a medium guy for me. The Parshath is here. It's got the Static Party and a sad no thank you, my man. I can negate that as well. So no extra summon. Now in the end phase, he's gonna get the triple add to his end, but actually that is not gonna be enough, because at the next turn I can just summon a boy and I'm chilling, because I summon this guy, I can negate anything else. I do not want, actually I didn't go with Altair, and you know why? Because if I activate the effect of Altair, then my Parshath cannot attack, because during the turn you activate this effect, your monsters cannot attack except Stellar Knight. Keep in mind that. So I get to recycle the Divine Wrath. That was pretty nice. So we have a couple of more negation, but look at the mistake he did. He let me attack with DNM, and then he is the back row, but at this point I can just negate it, and I have lethal, so bad play for him. So that's how you do it, my boys. Negate it, and there you go. Last but not least, on a 2-win streak. This was the 3rd one in a row. Let's see, it's us to begin, and we've got actually a couple of negation right there. I decided to go with Battleamus instead, and to begin directly with Deltaros. Why a Deltaros though, and not a Trevor? Because this of course is 99% Phantom Knights, and using Trevor as sending a card from his hand to the graveyard actually is only a favor for him. So I decided to go with Deltaros, that whenever it gets destroyed, I actually get to pick a monster from my deck, and this can be a DNEB that can actually start all the combos for Satellar Knights. So I have my negation, I'm chilling at this point. It's got the Ancient Clock, as you can see, cycling on my Stellar Nova Alpha, and that's fine, because in his combo, what he can do is actually get rid of my guy with the rank 3 monsters that pops Deltaros, and we are fine with popping Deltaros, because he has a fine effect as a protection. So he's got all his combo out, as you can see right there, with the Fountain Knives of Brixworth, the guy I was talking about before, so he can just pop both. But he decided not to use the effect, he decided to attack, and that is good enough. It's good as well, because we can just use Deltaros effect to bring out a DNEB. DNEB on someone will let us add an Altair, and now we have the full combo ready to be performed. So we can just go again with the Altair, summoning the Vega, and we have triple guy into Trevor. Now Trevor is needed, because we need that guy to come back to the extra deck and not to be destroyed, otherwise he activates his effect. So using the effect to reduce his hand, and it was fine actually, because this guy has nothing, I think, from the graveyard, I guess. He can draw a card, as you can see, so he's got his combo once again. But keep in mind that Trevor has a nice effect as well when he gets destroyed, and he has materials, so we're still chilling right now. So he's adding the Fog Blade, the best Phantom Knights trap card that we have in Duel Links. He's got the double the rank 3 once again, and at this point, let's see if he's attacking or not. He uses his effect instead to pop both, so It's got the effect of the rank 3 to special summon a couple of guys and make them level 4. But Trigger let me special summon a monster from my graveyard, actually a Tellarknight from my graveyard. So it's got also the effect of the fragile armor. So it can go. I decide to summon Altair. Altair can summon Vega, and Vega on summon is gonna let me summon the Zenith from my hand. So we're more than chilling, bringing back another Altair. He went just with a Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. That won't be enough to actually go over my full board of monsters, and then he's summoning the rank 3 back again, but it's still not fine. Another mistake, he actually popped the DNAB, that is the only one that needed to stay on the field, but actually I should have a couple of DNABs, so actually there was nothing you could do, and I could just go with Altair once again, summoning the DNAB from the graveyard once again. I added another Altair, then Xyz summon into Trigger again in defense to make everything come back to hand, but it's got the trap, we knew that, and we're chilling because at this point, even if you go over this, we're chilling because you can just, Trigger can just summon back a monster from the graveyard, so he decided not to attack, but I know, you know what, that is not the best choice, so I went with Altair summoning the Cyrus to actually recycle everything back. He uses his trap card on his monster to protect his life points that are only 900, and then I used Cyrus effect to recycle everything, as you can see, Trigger included, so I can summon Batlemus and another Trigger. At this point he can't do nothing. Second Trigger is coming back, making everything come back to the hand, and at this point, you know, there's nothing he could do. I even have another protection for the next turn, but we know he's got nothing, so that's how you do it, my boys. And there you go. So that was all, as you can see, for my replays. I hope you enjoyed them with my commentary. Of course, guys, if you have some questions, feel free to ask me whatever you want in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.